Hey, what's up? So this is a full breakdown of all the revenue we generated in the last 8 months of operating the remote cleaning business out in Texas. And so I took Go High Level, Booking Koala, LSA, Meta, and just threw it all into Claude, and it spit out this whole analysis. So I thought it'd be cool to go through with y'all. And there are some things that weren't tracked, like checks and ACH that we got from some companies or whatever jobs we didn't put into Booking Koala for whatever reason. But you can see here we've got about 1,100 leads from these 4 channels, 210 customers. Average first job total was $483, and then about $156,000 generated off of 17.8 thousand in marketing spend, and our gross profit margin. Again, this is gross profit, so you still have to account for like VAs, software, things like that. So it's not net profit. Now, this is our lead channels, our 4 main lead channels. The website, SEO, I pretty much chalked it up to anything. Also, people just calling us or texting us, and I think that it is from the website, but also it could be from like meta ads. I have on my video like our phone number, so people might have saw the meta ad and then just called us, and we just didn't do enough due diligence to figure out what lead source they exactly came from. Sometimes you ask people and they're just like, oh, I found you online. So this is what it is. I mean, you can see right off the bat, SEO website just blew everything else out of the water for the majority of our revenue. And then LSA and meta ads are pretty much the same. Google pay-per-click didn't perform super well, but we also don't spend that much in it anymore. That was the first lead channel I tried at this location. So down here is kind of the growth of the revenue. Monthly, you can see December we started out with, like 200, got a couple thousand in January, and then it starts building up in March and April. But as you can see, it correlates with how many leads we're bringing in each month. So January is when I first launched the meta ads, and then February, March is when we started really rolling with LSA. It took a little bit of time to get the business profile set up and verified so we can get the LSA account. But yeah, you can see meta is like vast majority, and then around February is when we had the website done, and that's when it starts picking up with leads. And this is each channel with how much gross profit per $1 spent. So this is not like return on ad spend, how much revenue is generated. This is after we paid out the cleaner and the gross profit. So you can see, again, website is pretty crazy, like every dollar we put into it. So my business partner, his brother, he does the website build for us. And like he's just gonna work with us on it. So he set it up 3,500 one time, and then now it's been generating so much. So it's like the best investment I've ever made in my life, honestly. And then meta ads and Google LSA, you can see they're neck and neck as far as how much profit they're generating, even though meta is double the amount of leads we're getting there. Cost per lead, obviously 50% less than LSA. Anything that's coming from Google, this is a great illustration. Those are the high intent customers. They know they want a service. They might need it a lot quicker, especially for like LSA. And so they're going to close at a higher rate. Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, these people they're just scrolling on their phone. It could be like 2 a.m. They're scrolling, they see it, and they fill it out. You know what I mean? So if you're running Meta, I wouldn't expect to get a super high closing rate. If you do, you're a beast, honestly. But you can see they're neck and neck. Like cost per customer, cost per acquisition is around $110, let's say, for between the both of them. This is how much profit they're generating. So LSA, bigger jobs, move in, move out, deep cleanings, that sort of thing. But I like Meta because we're building up such a big database. It's going to allow for text message reactivation, email marketing, and all that. And then Google pay-per-click, about 1,560 spent. LSA, let me see if I can zoom in. I can't hear. But LSA, just under 7,000. Meta, just under 6,000 at the time of me doing this analysis. Pay-per-click, I don't know why. I think, honestly, it wasn't much reason to stop it. Like, cost per lead isn't bad, but it was just the close rate. And the initial return wasn't there. So I shut it off, and we're just focused on these 3 lead channels right now. But pay-per-click, luckily we got our first customer who turned into a weekly client for $220 a week. Craig, what's up, dude? And he's the reason why this even became profitable after spending. I try to spend as much as I can to get the free credits from Google, and I just didn't hit it actually. But yeah, you can see lead per channel, super high with Meta, pretty much double everything else. But the close rate, you got LSA just under 20%, website SEO around 30%, and Meta is down here with pay-per-click. And then this is kind of illustrating SEO is just killing it. So that was, again, the best investment I did was in the SEO, and obviously it compounds over time. It takes time to build up, but you can see it's just really printing in that sense. And 1 in 3 customers have came back for recurring, which is awesome. So you can see we got a couple here, and I'll be the first to admit the quality wasn't great. So this could have been way better, but I would say from April to June, we burned a lot of customers because of the quality, and that's a separate thing. That's from operations and cleaners, being on top of things, and then also us communicating with the clients and providing a great service. So it could have been better. We burned a lot, but July was a huge comeback from us, and we got at least right now 5 new recurring customers, and then I did this a couple of days ago, so it's not all the way there. But yeah, every other week, monthly, that's what we kind of shoot for that recurring schedule. And then weeklies there, that's mainly commercial clients. This place in Texas is interesting because they have companies, and these companies have homes for their people. They come over here from different states, they live in the area, and so we do their homes, apartments, as well as their offices if they have it. Sporadic repeat is customers just coming back for a deep cleaning. Something that I didn't really experience down here is there'll be clients that have down here in Florida, there'll be clients that have a solo cleaner who does the recurring cleaning, but they just need a deep clean once in a while, and that's where we come in. And this is breaking down what we're paying our cleaners. So right out the bat, you see Mila, she's our star. She has taken on pretty much the majority of our jobs, which has been a great thing because she's amazing. But also it is a bit of a risk because if she decides to dip out for whatever reason, something happens, we're pretty screwed. But we earn about 54% margin on every job she does. Adriana, we let her go, but she was a main cleaner for us, and she's actually, not to talk bad, but one of the reasons why we burned a lot of customers because of her quality. Jacqueline, she's our new person. She's handling a lot of different markets for us because she has a really big team all over the state. But you can see we pay her close to 60%. And I mentioned 50-50 is kind of the general idea everybody says to pay the cleaners, but I would recommend trying to pay them closer to 40% and you keep 60, because you got a lot of expenses, and you want to keep the engine running. You got to make as much as possible. That's just how it is, and you're in it to make money. That's what the whole point is, But yeah, top customers. Sunny, crazy. This was a complete blessing. They're a construction company, and we generated over $25,000 in revenue from them. We just got a $7,500 post construction for a school from them this week. And yeah, that's about it, man. This is the 6 takeaways Claude says. Meta and LSA, pretty much the same kind of machine. I want to do an analysis here because my LSA cost down here in Florida was over $90 a lead. So I don't use it anymore really. I just use Meta. But I mean, the funnel, the conversion rate, the amount of profit generated, pretty much the same. Recurring revenue is everything. You need recurring revenue. That's your base to start. So we're really focused on that. About 1 in every 3 customer turns into it, which is great. If we can get that up to like 50%, sky's the limit, baby. So, and the website was the best investment. That is what beat all the ads. That's what's generating us the most profit. We'll just keep, pushing forward with the SEO, trying to dominate first page of Google as much as possible. And it looks like here, this is kind of interesting. So every $85, we buy a customer worth $747. That's pretty cool. And the last part, probably the most important, is to track your numbers. Track the lead source of your clients. Always ask them where they're finding you. Train your VAs or even yourself really to track the lead source and stay on top of this, and you can kind of have a better idea of where to invest your money, reinvest into. I now know the most active way for us to reinvest is Meta and Google LSA, because we're making consistently $3 of profit for every $1. So yeah, thought it'd be a cool breakdown for y'all, and I appreciate you watching. Peace.